talking about the Titans here. The Titans.
Swing and a drive, left field. It's gone! It is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball!
Podcast right here. You already know. Go fucking subscribe. Go follow.
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Phillies postgame show with Eric, Brendan, Dalt, and Ballpark Tommy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Check out the link in the bio for $10 off your first order today. Let's take it to the show.
I swear, I need one of two things to happen after this pathetic performance. Either one, and these are both going to be on Twitter, but either one, I see a tweet saying that Jose Alvarado has been designated for assignment, or two, I see a tweet saying that Rob Thomson has been fired. Because what the absolute heck were you thinking leaving Jose Alvarado in with bases loaded? Like, that man could not hit the broadside of a barn. He could not hit a freaking skeet target that was thrown up in the air for him to, shoot out of the air. He could not hit any, he could not do anything right. He is so terrible. The man throws the ball hard and hopes that they swing. That's all he does. But what's up, everybody? Eric, also known as Shard, here at the 302 Birds postgame show. And yes, my new name is Saquon Nees. I still have the name up from the fantasy draft, but got James and Ballpark in the house. What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much. How are you?
I'm irritated. Try to change my name real quick, but the Phillies just are very, very irritating.
Fair enough. I should have asked a longer question.
This was a very irritating, winnable game with half of the Braves lineup on the IL. But going into the first topic,
I told you earlier today, this is a classic.
Going into the first topic, the first thing we're going to talk about.
I was about to say, this is classic.
Tommy, I think you're lagging.
I must be really on delay or something.
Yeah, you're on a major delay, Tommy. It's like I talk and
all
then
right. We tried it tonight. We'll try another night. Have a good night.
See you, Tommy. Yeah, Tommy was on a major delay, so he's just gonna hop out. It's not that big of a deal. But going to the first topic, first thing we're going to talk about, wheels up but runs down. I don't even think Wheeler really did bad tonight. He really only let up one bad pitch over the plate for Marcell Ozuna, who hit a home run. I mean, that was really it. But if the offense could just get behind the pitchers and give them run support, probably would have won this game. Again, like I said earlier, the Braves have so many people on IL, and that sucks to say because, again, I don't wish injury on any team. But, I mean, you have Austin Riley, who just went out for 6 to 8 weeks. They really don't have any depth. And you let Whit Merrifield get halfway to the cycle. He had a triple and a double and was walked. I don't comprehend how this team functions. Literally, you're playing against a division rival. And I really hope they sat down yesterday and they said, look, this is one of the, if not the most important series of the season because you only have a certain amount of games left. You really only have, I think, 30-something games left. The Braves are now 6 games behind us. And, if the Braves win the next 2 games, that's 4 games. That's 4 games that we're ahead. We're slowly dwindling our games up, and it's going to be a really, really tight race the next couple weeks into the postseason. But Wheeler, looking at his stat line, 6 innings pitched, 6 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, no walks, 8 strikeouts, 1 home run, 2.73 ERA. Kerkering was after him. Kerkering did pretty well. 1 inning pitched, 1 hit, no earned runs or runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Alvarado, though, and we're going to talk about him in a second, but just absolutely, absolutely terrible. 0.2 innings pitched, 1 run, 1 earned run, 4 walks. The run was from him walking in a runner. 1 K. And then Lazar. Lazar still has a 0.00 ERA. 0.1 inning pitched. No hits, no runs, no earned runs. A strikeout. Like, if you would have put Lazar in when the bases were loaded, you probably wouldn't have driven in a run. Granted, I don't know if we would have won the game because the bats were absolutely cold, but it would have made it a more manageable game instead of being 2 runs down. But, James, what did you think of Wheeler and the bats being cold tonight?
Well, Zack Wheeler was he pitched pretty well tonight. It was one of those games, and I saw I was watching. It was on my phone at the same time, but Wheeler. It was one of those games. There wasn't really. It's like a pitcher's duel type of game. What's the name? The Phillies just couldn't get their bats really going. Except for JT. Believe it or not, JT Realmuto, the man who had multiple days off, hasn't catched since like Saturday. He had that RBI single today, and that's all that's all the Phillies did today was JT. A catcher had multiple day rest, had the only RBI today. Just let that one sink in. Everybody else pretty much. Bohm had a couple hits though tonight. I mean, Bohm looked good. But he didn't even score any RBIs. And runners in scoring position, like Ricky Bones mentioned, have the post game one. Rob Thomson was just speaking on there, and we'll get to him a little bit later. But runners in scoring position, 1 for 6 coming off an off day. There's definitely no excuse for that as well. And another thing too is I was very disappointed coming off an off day, only scoring 1 run, not even having a single home run, not even scoring more than 1 run, and you're playing against the Atlanta Braves team, which their pitching is still solid. Their lineup, they still have some good hitters in there, but their lineup is a little watered down right now with a bunch of injuries. But overall, Braves are every time the Braves have tried to catch us, we fire back. So hopefully, this is just tonight was just one loss, just like the way we started against the Dodgers series. But odds are after every time we lose the first game of Atlanta, we always lose the series. So I wouldn't be surprised if we lose the series against Atlanta. But anyway, yeah, the production has to be better tomorrow night. We need to talk about pitching good and runs up to. Well, I won't be on tomorrow, but yeah, yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Yeah, and I mean, going into the next topic, this probably won't be a long show. We really don't have that many topics, but going to the next thing we're going to talk about, I mean, the top 3 of this lineup absolutely stunk. And I've been saying this for a while now. I've been preaching this on Twitter, saying it on the post-game show. Again, the top 3 of this lineup, in my opinion, in my honest opinion, they need to be broken up. Like, I can't you can't have Schwarber, Turner, and Harper back-to-back anymore, because if they're going to just be like they were tonight, that's literally 3 guaranteed outs back-to-back. Schwarber, Turner, and Harper, no hits, 0 for 12 between the 3 of them. 0 for 4, 0 for 4, 0 for 4. They looked absolutely terrible. Harper had 3 strikeouts back-to-back. Schwarber had 4 strikeouts back-to-back. So, I mean, like, this team had 13 strikeouts tonight. 13. They looked terrible. Absolutely pitiful. Absolutely embarrassing. You need to break up the top 3. I really think it's to the point where this lineup is just so predictable. And I get that Rob Thomson likes the whole lefty-righty alternating lineup. I get that. But I really don't think this lineup works anymore. I really don't. And I get that you want to give your better guys more at-bats. I get that. But at the same time, they're not hitting. They're not. And I think, if they keep not producing, you got to bench them. You got to. I mean, that's the only solution that I can really think of. But it's really annoying that, in my opinion, right now, we are a way better team than the Braves are. And I only say that because they have so many unfortunate injuries. Again, I don't wish injuries on any team. And we still managed to play down to them. Even though we're the better team, we always play down to division rivals or people that just we should not be playing down to. And it's annoying. But yeah, the top 3 tonight absolutely stunk.
Yeah. If you like you mentioned, breaking up the top 3. If I had to break up one of the top 3, I think I would break up Kyle Schwarber. I would move. The only way this would work, to be honest, if you would have to move. Unfortunately, you have to move Trey Turner up to the leadoff spot. Move him up to the leadoff spot. Put Bohm at 2. Put Harper at 3. Move Schwarber all the way down to 4. Right, you got to get a couple guys on base and maybe get Schwarber get a knock in there. Because Bohm if you move Bohm up in the lineup, it gets you hits. You get guys on, right? Harper gets a home run or Schwarber gets a home run. You get 2 runs. You know what I'm saying? So there might be you put Schwarber in the lead off and he strikes out all the time. He's not going to produce any runs unless he hits a home run. He hits home runs. He's a streaky guy sometimes. Schwarber's what you call streaky. But if you break up the top 3, it might work because, like I said, you move Schwarber down to 4, you get a guy or 2 on before Schwarber comes up. He hits a home run, you get 2 runs. He doesn't hit a home run, you don't get anything. But still, you break that lineup up like you've been saying, Shard. You might produce more runs like that. But I don't see him doing it, to be honest. I don't see him breaking up the top 3. I see him going with the same old lineup as Schwarber, Turner, and Harper. And I think Alec Bohm deserves to be up in the top 3, either 2 or 3 in the lineup, to be honest.
Yeah, go ahead.
And he maybe move Harper down to 4, maybe, or move Schwarber down to 5. But then you would have to move Harper or keep Harper at 3, move Casty up in the lineup somehow, and then move Schwarber down to 5 or something. Because something has to change in this lineup. In this lineup, you got to work something out different that will win you a championship. Because honestly, the last couple of years when we had kind of this like same old lineup with Schwarber leading off, and then somebody else batting second or third. Because I know this is only Turner's second season with the Phillies. We didn't win any World Series. We lost in the World Series, lost in the NLCS. So it's really a weird situation with the lineup, to be honest. If you try to mess with it, it creates a dilemma, and the Phillies probably don't want to be stressed out about that right now for some reason.
Right, and I mean I agree, and I mean the only other person I kind of want to talk about real quick is Brandon Marsh. I mean, looking at his stat line, since June 1st, he struck out in 42% of his at bats. absolutely terrible. I don't know if he'll be here next season. There's a lot of people saying that him and Stott won't be here next season, that they're going to get traded. I don't know at this point, but honestly, like, I could really see Weston Wilson taking over from Marsh.
True.
Go ahead.
One more thing. Getting him out. You mentioned it brought Brandon Marsh. Believe it or not, Shard, I think you remember the post I called the day I called Brandon Marsh's home run back in June before I started joining the shows. That was one of his best games of the season. That was the game I woke up Brandon Marsh. He went 4 for 4 that day. I remember when Dalton tagged me in the post. This was back in June. That was one of his best games of the season, hitting that day game. But he hasn't had a 4-hit game any other time this season, but that one game in June. And I think you remember, Shard, that day. It was a day game against the Tigers when we beat them, when we took 2 of 3. And that's one of our only few American League series that we won all year against the Tigers and White Sox. So yeah, that's pretty much the story of Brandon Marsh. That was one of his best games of the year, and I think Dalton remembers that too. So
yeah. But going into the last topic, last thing we're going to talk about, I know I'm probably going to get hate for this, and this was a big topic, especially after Sunday, where Rob didn't pinch hit Bryce or JT. But like, he has back-to-back games that are very winnable, and he makes dumb decisions. And I really, really think that if he keeps this up, he's going to be out of a job because, like, again, I don't understand how you leave in Jose Alvarado with bases loaded. I don't get it. And looking at Jose Alvarado's stat line before and after the All-Star break. So this is before the All-Star break. So innings before the All-Star break, he went 39 innings. His ERA before the All-Star break, it wasn't good. It wasn't terrible. 3.92 ERA. His whip was a 1.18. His K, he had 40 strikeouts, and he had 16 walks. Pretty decent strikeout to walk ratio. After the All-Star break, he's only pitched 11.1 innings. His ERA over those 11.1 innings is a 6.35 for 11.1 innings. That's absolutely terrible. His whip is a 1.75. He has 10 strikeouts and 8 walks. 10 strikeouts and 8 walks. That is a very small margin when it comes to a ratio. And I don't think he's good. I don't. And I'm trying to look up Rob Thomson's post game on Jose Alvarado. So this is what he said on Jose post game. Well, he's got to throw strikes, and that's not happening right now. The stuff is there. He's got to power through the zone. He's got to believe in his stuff and attack hitters. I don't think he believes in his stuff. I really don't. He's so bad. He, is a very erratic pitcher, throws all over the zone. He walked 4 straight. He hopes that, if he throws it hard enough, they're going to swing and either ground out or strike out. So absolutely terrible. And he sucks with runners on base. Like, he can't concentrate to get the outs he needs with runners on base. Because I'm pretty sure he had 2 outs and then he just kept walking people. So it's like he stinks. I can't stand Alvarado. I can't stand Rob Thomson when it comes to bullpen management because he just sucks with bullpen management. He can't manage a bullpen to save his life. And it's frustrating because, again, you could have won 2 very, very winnable games on Sunday and tonight. Granted, I don't know if they would have gotten a run to tie the game 2-2 because the bats absolutely looked like dog crap. But you don't know unless I don't know. I don't know. I think Rob Thomson needs to go. I can't stand him. I really don't think that he's the manager that we need. And I get it. He's the most winningest coach in Philadelphia. He's been to the NLCS. He's been to the World Series. Cool. He's done that. Okay? He's done that. That's great. But what do you have to show for it? Do you have a ring on your finger at the end of the day saying World Series champions? No, you don't. You don't. And the comparison I'm going to make before I hand it off to James is look at Nick Sirianni compared to Rob Thomson, right? I feel like Rob Thomson, out of all the Philadelphia coaches, does not get the scrutiny that he deserves. Look at Doc Rivers when he was on the Sixers and he, kept losing in the second round of the postseason. They were calling for his head. I can't really talk about the Flyers because I don't know anything about the Flyers, but, I'm sure that they've been calling for the coach's head because they're absolutely terrible too. Look at Nick Sirianni last year, right? In that collapse, he was this close to being fired. Everybody was saying, oh, Bill Belichick's going to come to Philadelphia and fill your position, right? Why are we not saying the same about Rob Thomson? Like, why? The dude had a month-long slump as a manager. Why are we not calling for his job? I get it. The sample size might be larger because there's 162 games in baseball compared to, 18 weeks in football? I get it. But at the same time, like, why are we not holding them both to the same standard? Sorry for the rant there, James. Go ahead.
Yeah, first of all, Jose Alvarado, wow, 6.35 ERA last 11 games. I must say, once we reach the postseason, if we can hold our stuff together in a little over a month, which we probably should make the postseason, but my thing is, if he's struggling this bad, they're not taking him off the roster. I know that, but here's my thing: his playing time in the bullpen may go down a little bit because I can see them putting Taijuan Walker and Tyler Phillips, and I know Taijuan Walker's not that good, but they'll try to put Tyler Phillips in the pen. So that will prevent, and Taijuan Walker in the pen, even though we don't like him, that will prevent us from using Alvarado a lot in the postseason if he keeps struggling this bad. So maybe Tyler Phillips can come in Alvarado's spot in a key postseason game to come save the day. If we're up by a couple of runs, so Alvarado doesn't blow it for us in like the 6th, 7th innings, maybe Alvarado can be that key save. Phillips can be that key savior in a way. But getting to Rob Thomson, I'll say this: his job is on the line. If we don't win the championship this year, his job is on the line after the season. Because think about it: 2 seasons ago, flashing back till June 1st, he took over for Joe Girardi. Rob Thomson, I loved him in the very beginning. I loved him. He turned around the Philly season. And then we made that run to the World Series. We were the 6th seed, made the run to the World Series. Following year, we had a slow start for second year in a row under Rob Thomson. And then we just started playing better. And then 2024, we started off kind of shaky 8-8, but then we started playing good. But here's my thing: my buddy John JP Wright, I'm just calling him JP because he says that he really believes that it's not the manager. The reason why the Phillies aren't playing, the reason why the Phillies played well wasn't because of the manager; it was because of them, for the most part. And Rob Thomson pretty much has zero things to do. I think he had. I honestly, if you want to know Shard, all of us could praise Rob Thomson all we want about him turning around the season when we fired Girardi 2 years ago. But we can all say that now. We can say that now. But if you look back on it from a couple years ago, if you look back on it, I think it was I think the players were playing more juiced up without Joe Girardi back then in the locker room. And I don't think this has to do with the manager. I think the players I think that it kind of does have to do with the manager, but I think the reason why they do play good in streakaways earlier in the season is because of themselves, because they get fired up. I don't think this has to do with Rob. And sorry, I have this all tongue twister because I don't know what to say about Rob Thomson. I don't think he has to do with the Phillies has to do with the Phillies' success. I think it's the Phillies themselves and Bryce Harper and everybody else. So that's my take on that. It's a pretty fishy situation there.
Right, yeah, and I agree. And you know, I feel like you guys give up on managers too fast. I mean, yes and no. I mean, I kind of agree, but at the same time, it's like I don't know, dude. Do we give up on managers too fast? Sure, probably. Do we just get very annoyed as fans? Yeah. I feel like it's more so annoyance than it is me actually wanting to give up on Rob. Is he a decent manager at times? Sure. Does he make really, really stupid decisions? Yes, more often than not. But I don't know, man. I mean, I think that if this is the third year in a row where you're getting either to the World Series or you're getting very close and you don't produce, then yes, I think there's some kind of talk you have to have and be like, look, you've been this close. You've had, a ring or a championship in your grasp, and you haven't been able to produce. And, unfortunately, we're going to have to let you go just because, I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. But it's just very annoying. It's frustrating, but that's all we have for you guys tonight. Phillies unfortunately lose to the Braves 3-1. They lose the series opener. They're back again tomorrow at 7:10. So we'll be back with the post-game show tomorrow around the same time. But
I probably won't be on, guys, tomorrow night because I'm working the Bruce Springsteen concert at the bank. So I probably won't, because I have work starting at 4:30. So I don't think. Yeah, I have to stay there until 10:30. I probably missed the whole game, so I probably won't. Charlotte, I probably won't be back till I probably won't be back on here until Thursday night, most likely. So just let everybody know. So yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, we'll see, but yeah, Joseph, I really hope you're right, man. I hope that they do bounce back, but they really got to get their head in the game, especially with how close it is to the end of the season. So we'll see. But like I said, Phillies lose 3-1. On the mound tomorrow is Nola versus Max Fried. So Fried, however you say his last name, whatever. But yeah, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. Go ahead and roll the outro. Good night, everybody.
The Vikings!
Swing and a drive, left field. It's going, and it is gone! It is Bedlam at the bank!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.